Good morning, all of you. So today we have start our unit number 5, that is economics and management. Okay. So the previous lecture we have to seen about money and economical value. Okay. In this particular unit we have also seen about engineering economics. Okay. So number of decision which are related with the or the number of the economical decision which are related with the engineering, which is called as uh, engineering economics. Okay. Also we have seen in unit number 4, that is interest rate. Okay, how to calculate the interest rate and how to calculate interest rate with the help of the simple interest formula, or the with the help of the compound interest formula. Okay, in this particular unit, that is economics and management. Okay, so this unit is particularly depend upon the economical values. Okay, so we have in all the daily life we have required the economics. Okay, so what they say that the calculation under the inflation. Okay, so what is inflation? So inflation means we say that in Marathi, that is Mahagai. Okay, Mahagai. So equivalence calculation under the inflation. Okay, and another, that is the present worth analysis. Okay, and another point is the annual equivalence analysis, and the case study in this particular unit is the comparative analysis of the software enterprises from the similar domain. Okay, so in this particular we have start our unit number fifth. Okay, that is the whatever the point equivalence calculation under the inflation. Okay, so in this particular topic we have seen the measure of the inflation and actual versus constant dollar. Okay, equivalence calculation under the inflation. Okay, so first one is the measure of the inflation. Okay, so how to calculate the inflation? Okay, so these are the number of the indexes. Okay, so we have required to calculate this particular indexes, whatever the consumer price index. Okay, so that are the indexes we have required to calculating by using the formula. So we have calculate this particular inflation. Okay, so what is inflation? So inflation we say in Marathi, that is Mahagai. Okay, so consumer price index. Okay, the another one is the producer price index. Okay, and another one is the average inflation rate and the general inflation rate versus specific inflation. Okay, so this inflation, or we can say that this particular inflation we can calculate by using the formula. Okay, so first one is the measure of the inflation. Okay, so what is inflation? Okay, so this is, they say that, okay, what is inflation? A loss in purchasing power of the money over a time. Okay, loss in the purchasing power. Okay, so we say that it is Mahagai. Okay, we call in Marathi inflation means the Mahagai. Okay, so loss in purchasing power of the money over time. So we can say that we have buy anything. Okay, but we have required the paying the more money. Okay, so we say that we lost the power of the money now. So the cost of item that tends to increase over the time. So we can say that this particular thing or particular mm, things having increases the price. Okay, price is increases, so we have required to spend the more money to get the particular thing. Okay, so we say that it is a cost of item tends increase over the time. Okay, the same dollar amount by less of the times over the times. Okay, so another one is the, so you get it now. What is inflation? Inflation means that we have required to spend more money to getting any of the thing. Okay, so we say that the losing of the power of money. Okay, or the losing of the power of the money also. Okay, then another one. Okay, so this is the one part, that is the inflation. Okay, another part, that is the deflation. Okay, so what is deflation? So prices decreases over a time. Okay, so what they say, price decreases. In inflation, you can say that the power, we can lose the purchasing power of the money also. Okay, so in deflation, prices decrease over the time. Okay, so inflation and deflations are the opposite things. Okay, so a specified dollar amount gain purchasing power. Okay, as the inflation is the more common, we focus on the inflation in economics analysis. Okay, so what they say that inflation, okay, uh, every time inflation is happen, but deflation is happen only rare cases. Okay, only rare cases. Okay, so what is deflation? So we say that it is a price decreases over a time, so we have required to uh, paying the less money to getting the any of the thing. But the inflation, we have said that the loss of purchasing power. Okay, why we have lost the purchasing power? Because we have required the same the more money to getting any of the thing also. Okay, get it now. So this is the part. Then another one is the measure of the inflation. Okay, so this is the example. They say that suppose that your salary is $35,000. Okay, and you are promised a salary rise 6% per year. Okay, so what they say that we have required the increment. Okay, increment that is 6% per year. Suppose that inflation is 8%. Okay, so what is inflation? That is mahagai. Okay, mahagai is increased 8%. Okay, so what is the real situation? Okay, so they say that is that you are really rising salary. Okay, so your salary is rise only 6% per year now, but inflation is rising 8% in all the things. Okay, in all the things, so we can say that it is the example say that it is what is the real situation. Okay, so it is a really rising salary. Okay, so you say that no. Okay, you say that no, because inflation is rises 8%. Okay, but your salary is rises only 6%. Okay, get it now. So this is the example of the inflation. Okay, then another one is the consumer price index. Okay, that is the CPI. So what is the CPI? So they say that in CPI, that is the consumer. So we can calculate this CPI also. Okay, so measure the prices of the typical purchase made by the consumer. Okay, so we have require how the increase the price. Okay, how the increase the price from the initial value to the final value. Okay, so we can calculate. Okay, so based on the typical market basket of the good and the services required by the average consumer. Okay, so these are the common things. Okay, consumer can get it. So that are the foods, alcoholic beverage, housing, then apparel, transportation, medical care, entertainment, personal care, and other good and services. So these are the example, or these are the some things the consumer can be used. Okay, so we have required the calculate CPI on these particular things also. Okay, so these are the services now, these are the services. So the consumer price index, that is CPI. Okay, so this is the example that we can say that old CPI and new CPI. Okay, so base period. Okay, so that is the base period, that is 1967. 1967. So they say that this is the old period now, 2006, whatever in dollar, 100. Okay, another one is the dollar 600. Okay, so this is, they can say that increment. Okay, from 1967 to 2006. Okay, the first, they say that this is the base period, and they say that that time the actual price or the initial price is $100. Okay, then up to the 2006, okay, we can say that this is the $690. Okay, so you can say that this is the CPI for the 2006, that is uh, 600.90. Okay, then new CPI. Okay, so this is the old CPI, means that this is the gap. Okay, various gap, but in new CPI, so you can say that only 2 years gap. Okay, here is only 2 years gap, that is 1982 to so that is some 1982, 84 to 2006. Okay, so this is new, but this is 1967 to 2006. These are the numbers of year, na? These are the numbers of year. So we can say that uh, up to 40 years. Okay, but in this particular situation, we can say that these are only 25 year. Okay, so this is we can calculate in 1982 to 2006. Okay, that is up to 22 to 24 year. Okay, so these are the new CPI. We can also say that so the CPI for the $200.40. Okay, so this is the changing price. Okay, so compare the cost of the typical market. Okay, so this is the typical market. So we can say that the basket of the goods and services in the current month with the cost at the previous time. Okay, so the base period. Okay, so the base period, so this is the current month. Okay, this is the current month, or 1 month ago, or 1 month, year also. Okay, so this is the good measure of the general price increase of customer. Okay, not a good measure industrial price increases. So this is the producer price index. Okay, so another one is the with the price indexes. Okay, so we can calculate our inflation rate. Okay, how we can calculate? So this is the formula. Okay, what? Change in price index divided by initial price index, okay, into 100. Okay, so this is the formula. Change in index price divided by the initial price indexes. Okay, then another one is the, for example, CPI in 2001. Okay, so they can say that what is CPI in 2001? That is 177.1. Okay, but CPI in 2000 what? 172.2. Okay, so we can say that this is the change. Okay, this is the initial. How it is initial? Initial means so we can calculate. Okay, so firstly 172, then 177. Okay, so inflation rate. Okay, so what is inflation rate? So is equal to initial. Okay, your final CPI minus initial CPI. Okay, so that is CPI in 2001 minus CPI in 2000 divided by CPI in 2000. Okay, into 100. Okay, that is the 177.1 minus 172.2 divided by 172.2 into 100. Okay, so we can calculate the CPI from this particular formula. Okay, so this is very simple example. You can be solid. Okay, only you have required to remember this formula, that is inflation rate is equal to change in price index divided by initial price index into 100. Okay, so then we move toward the another index, that is the average inflation rate. Okay, so how to calculate the average inflation rate? This is only the inflation rate. Okay, This is only the inflation rate. Then we move toward the average inflation rate. Okay. So account for the effect of varying yearly inflation rate over a period of the several years. Okay. So we can say that what whenever we have required to take an average of any addition number. Okay. That time we calculate the that number and the divided by n. Okay, so this is also be the same. Okay, so we have required to count. Okay, we have required the count what is effect of varying yearly. Okay, what is effect of varying yearly means the what is inflation rate of 2001, what is inflation rate of 2002, what is inflation rate of 2003. Okay, so this is the varying yearly inflation. Okay, then the compounding effect. Okay, so each year inflation rate is based on the previous year rate also. Okay, so this is the compounding. So this is the example of the inflation rate. Okay, so first year inflation rate is 4%. Okay, second year inflation rate is 8%. Okay, with the base price of the 100. Okay, then the what is the average inflation rate of the 2 year. Okay, so what they say, average inflation rate of the 2 year. Then we have required to, then the first step. Okay, what is first step? Find the price at the end of the second year with the process of the compounding. Okay, that is $100 into whatever, this is the base price na, this is the base price. Okay, then 1 plus. Okay, so this is 1 plus and then 0.04, that is this is 4%. Okay, into 1 plus 0.08, that is 8%. So we can say that that is 112. Okay, 112 plus 32. Okay, 112.32. So this is the, you can say that finding the price at the end of the second year. Okay, so this is we use the finding the end price. Okay, that is 112.32. Then second step. Okay, then second step we have required the calculate the average inflation rate. Okay, average inflation rate, that is F. Okay, that is F. So we have required to calculate by using this formula. Okay, so this is the base price 100. Okay, in bracket 1 plus F square is equal to what? 112.32. Okay, 112.32. So we can calculate. Okay, so we can calculate the value of F also. Okay, so this is the F divided by P. So you can say that average inflation rate. Okay, average inflation rate. So you can calculate by using the formula also. Okay, so the price increases in the 2 years equivalence to an average annual percentage rate is 5.98. Okay, so what is the actual answer? That is 5.98. Okay, so this is the formula, so you can calculate. Okay, so here is 1 plus what is 2f plus f square. Okay, then you can multiply this 100 plus 200 f. Okay, plus 100 f square. Okay, is equal to 112. Okay, is equal to 112, and from the solving that particular equation you can get the value of f. Okay, you can get the value of f. Then another one, this is the number of the things. Okay, so average inflation rate of these particular categories. Okay, so first one is the postage. Okay, so this is the price. Okay, so what is price? $0.37, and in 2000 price that is 0.33. Okay, so this is the increment now. This is the increment. So they calculate the inflation rate, that is 3.89%. Okay. So these are the some example we can calculate the inflation. Okay. We can calculate the inflation also. Okay. So this is number of homeowners insurance also, auto insurance also. Okay, private college tuition fee, gasoline per gallon, haircut, car, natural gases, baseball ticket, cable TV per month, movie average ticket, movie concession, health care. Okay, customer price index. So this is, you can say that this is the number of the example. Okay, then the average inflation rate, whatever the calculate the rate of the private college tuitions is calculated as follow. Okay, so given, so what is given, p is equal to, okay, so this is the principal amount. Okay, this is the principal amount, that is 5580. Okay, comma f. Okay, that is the future value, that is 80,273. Then the year. Okay, what are the year? 2003 to 2000. Okay, that is the 3 year. Okay, that are the 3 years. So we can say that this is the future value. Okay, this is the future value is equal to the primary value into 1 plus f raised to q also. Okay, f raised to q also. So we can say that, so you divided uh, 18,133 divided by 15,518. Okay, and you can calculate this particular equation. Okay, and you can give the value of f also. Okay, you can get the value of f also, that is 5.6%. Okay, so this is the average inflation rate. Okay, this is the average inflation rate. Then the another one. Okay, another, what is general inflation rate? Okay, general inflation rate versus specific inflation. So okay, so this is the we can say that comparison between two inflation. Okay, comparison between two inflation. So the average inflation rate is based on the CPI. Okay, so consumer price index. All the times the market basket, the market interest is expected to respond in the general inflation rate also. Okay, so this is the first point, that is the responding of the market. Okay, so what is the market interest rate? Okay, what is the market interest rate is the depend on the general inflation. Okay, then the another one is the another comparison factor, that is the specific inflation rate. Okay, so what they say, this rate is the base on the index. Okay, to the segment j of the economy. Okay, to the segment j of the economy. So that is the in the segment j means the specific. Okay, specific segment. Okay, that is the specific segment. So we can say that this is the specific inflation rate also, but in general we can say that this is the particular average inflation. We can say that this is only the general things. Okay, general things of the customer, that is whatever uh, TV bill, whatever your recharge. Okay, so these are the common things, that are the car, private loan, natural gases. Okay, so these are the general things, but specific inflation. So we can say that that are only the specific segment. Okay, so this is the specific inflation rate also. Okay, then we move toward the general inflation rate. Okay, so general inflation rate, uh, whatever in the term of the CPI is defined as. Okay, so how we can calculate the this particular, so CPI is equal to, so this is the nth CPI, okay, and the initial CPI plus, so that is the general inflation rate raised to n, okay, raised to n. So we can calculate the value of f, okay, we can calculate the value of f, that is the general inflation, that is the n CPI divided by the initial CPI minus raised to 1 by 1 upon n factor, okay, minus 1, okay. So this is the general formula, okay, this is the general formula and you have to remember it, okay. So there is the, what is f dash, so you can say that this is the general inflation, okay. Then the CPI n, okay, the customer price index at the end period, okay, and CPI 0, that is the initial index, okay, the customer price index for the base period. So, the general inflation given CPI value for the 2 consecutive years as defined as, so you can say that CPI n minus CPI I, okay, CPI n minus 1. So, this is the initial and so this is the final and final minus 1 index also, okay. So, that is the CPI n minus CPI, that is consumer price index minus uh, n minus 1 term also, okay, n term and n minus 1 term also, okay, get it now. So this is the, you can say that the general inflation rate of the period n, okay. So for example, so this is the general inflation rate for the year of 2000, okay, and the whatever the CPI, that is 2001 is 530.4, okay, and the general CPI, that is 2002 is the 538. So we have to calculate the general inflation, okay. What is the general inflation? So from this particular formula, okay, this is the formula and we have to put it that value in this formula, okay, put it that value in this formula. So we can say that 538 minus 130.4, okay, divided by 530 minus 4. So you can calculate this particular value okay, by solving of this equation, that is 0.0158, that is 1.58%, okay, 1.58%. So this is also be the simple, because here is only the equation, okay, that is Fn, whatever the general inflation is equal to the nth term of the CPI minus n minus 1th term of the CPI divided by CPI n minus 1th term, okay. So this is the calculation, okay. Then here is the another one, that is the for the utility company, okay. So the cost is supply a fixed amount of the power to new housing development, okay. So this is new housing development, so this is the year and the cost, okay. So the first, you can say that this is the principal amount, that is, you can say that the first year end of the price, that is 504, okay, $504,000, okay. Then another, at the first year, at the completion of the first year, so you can say that the increment, okay, you can say that the increment, that is 138 point 138 and $400,000, okay. Then the another one is the also be increment, that is 577,000, okay. Another one is the 600 to 9 500,000, okay. So this is the actual cost, okay, this is the actual cost. So we have required the general calculation of the inflation, okay. So assume the first year, this is the base period, okay. So you can say that this is the basic value also, okay, that is the 504,000, okay, dollar. Okay, determine the inflation rate for each period and the average inflation rate over the 3 years also. Okay, so you can calculate by using this formula. Okay, what is formula? This formula, CPIN minus CPIN minus 1 divided by CPIN minus 1. Okay, so you can calculate the inflation for each period. Okay, inflation for each period or the 3 period also. Okay, get it? So this is also be the, so you can say that you can take the this is the nth term, this is the nth minus 1 term. Okay, so 6 to 9 minus 577 divided by 577. Okay, so you can get the answer, that is the 7.69%. Okay, 7.69% also. Okay, so this is the actual solution. Okay, this is the actual solution. We can calculate CPIN minus CPIN minus 1 divided by CPIN minus 1. Okay, get it? Then the another one. Okay, actual versus constant dollar. Okay, so what is this actual versus constant dollar? Okay, so we see the economics. Now we can see the economics and all. So another one is the conversion from constant to the actual dollar. So these are the point. Okay, so these are the 2 points, that are the conversion of the constant to the actual dollar, conversion from the actual to the constant dollar also. Okay, so these are the vice versa. Okay, these are the vice versa. Firstly, consume constant to the actual dollar. Another one is the actual dollar to the constant dollar. So these are the, you can say that actual versus constant dollar. Okay, so what is the actual dollar? Okay, what is the actual dollar? So the dollar value is the influenced by the inflation. Okay, so the estimation of the future cash flow for the year end that take into the account any anticipated changes in amount caused by the inflationary or the deflationary effect. Okay, so what they say, this is the actual dollar. Okay, actual means the current dollar. Okay, so the cash flow, we see the how the cash flow is happen. Okay, so you can say that it is the incrementally or the decrementary also. Okay, so these are the changes. Now this is the changes means the actual value of this particular dollar. Okay, so means they say that the estimation of the future cash flow. Okay, what are the incremental flow or the what are the decremental flow? Okay, so estimation of the future cash flow for the year end that take into the account any anticipated changes also. Okay, and the constant. Okay, in this actual current dollar means the incremental or the decremental, or we can say that inflationary or deflationary effect. Okay, then we move toward the constant dollar. Okay, so the real purchasing power reflect constant purchasing power independent of the passage of the time also. So they say that independent of the passage of time. So you can say that that are the constant or the real dollar. Okay, above are the cash flow, whatever the any changes for the implementary or the deflationary also. But in the constant, you can say that this is the actual value or the constant. Okay, we can say that this power is the independent of the passage of the time. Okay, independent of the passage of the time also. Okay, so here is the conversion from the constant to the actual dollar. Okay, so we can say that how the conversion is happen. Okay, for the cash flow estimated with the inflationary effect, where assume they can be converted to the constant dollar. Okay, so we can convert. Okay, we can convert the constant dollar, whatever the actual value, okay, actual dollar to the constant dollar also, okay, using the general inflation rate, okay, using the general inflation rate. So this is the equation an, okay, this is the equation, that is an is equal to a dash n, okay, a dash n 1 plus f dash raised to n. Okay, so you can say that where a dash n is the constant dollar expression for the cash flow occurring at the end of the n year also. Okay, of the n year also. This is the constant dollar. Okay, this is the constant. We can say that the a dash n Addition is the constant dollar expression. AN is the actual dollar expression. Okay, AN is the actual dollar expression for the each for the cash flow occurring at the end of the nth year. Okay, so here is the constant dollar. Here is the constant dollar of 1000. Okay, then for the 3 year, for the 3 years, so we have required the value of n is equal to 3. Okay, then the f. Okay, so what is f? So you can say that general inflation. Okay, general inflation is equal to 8%. Okay, and from the calculation, that is the best value, that is the constant dollar. Okay, so this is the, you can say that constant dollar, this is the constant dollar plus 1 plus this then the general inflation rate. Okay, general inflation rate, that is point 0.8. Okay, 0.08 raised to cube, okay, is equal to $1,060. Okay, so this is the actual dollar. Okay, so we can calculate the, or we can transfer, or we can convert the constant to the actual dollar also. Okay, so this is the actual dollar, or we have the price of the constant dollar, and we have required to convert it into the actual dollar, okay, from this particular equation. Okay, then another one, okay, what they say, actual versus constant dollar, that is what would be, this is the 30,000 earned in 1995. Okay, be the equal in 2011. The CPI of the 2 year is the what they can say, this is the 1995 and 2001. Okay, so the first year, that is 152.4, and the 223.47. Then they say that find the actual dollar amount. Okay, find the actual dollar. So you have required to calculate firstly the value of the rate also. Okay, value of the general inflation. From the general inflation, you can put this particular value into the equation, that is the base value, that is the 30,000 whatever 1 plus, then you can say that inflation rate. Okay, so how you can calculate the inflation rate, that is 223.747 minus 152.4 divided by 152.4, and you can calculate the general inflation. Okay, and you put the general inflation value into this formula, and you can get the actual value, or we can find out the actual dollar amount in 2011. Okay, so another one. Okay, so what they say, you can say that the conversion of the converting from the constant to the actual. Okay, so these are the vice versa process. Okay, these are the vice versa, so you can say that a dash n, so these are the constant dollar expression and actual dollar inflation. An 1 plus f dash, here in converting of the actual to constant, there is the n, but here is the minus n. Okay, here is the minus n, so you can say that, can calculate the constant dollar value. Okay, or you can calculate the actual dollar value also, okay, by using this formula. Okay, so you can say that here is the constant dollar thousand. Okay, then n is equal to 3, f is equal to 8%. Okay, f is equal to 8%. So you can say that, so this is the value. Okay, this is the, you can calculate by using the this particular formula. Okay, that is, so this is, you can say that actual dollar. Okay, this is the value of the actual dollar, 1 plus 0.08 minus 3. So these two processing are the vice versa. Okay, these two processing are the vice versa, actual to constant to actual. Okay, only you can formulate the formula also by using the actual to convert or convert to actual dollar also. Okay, then another one, what they say, assume a general inflation rate is the 5%. Okay, a company has negotiated 5-year lease on the 20 acres of the land. Okay, the annual cost stated in the lease of the dollar 20, okay, dollar 200, 2000. Okay, to be the paid at the beginning of the each 5 year. Find the equivalence cost of the constant dollar at each period. Okay, so this is the 2000, or here is not 2000, here is the 20,000. Okay, this is the printing mistake. Okay, here they say that here is the 20,000. Now here is the 20,000. So the initial price, that is the 20,000. Okay, so from the inflation rate you can calculate the another value. Okay, another value. So they can say that here is the general inflation rate, that is 5%, and the company negotiated, means the lease. Okay, means the negotiated a 5-year lease on the 20 acres of the land. Okay, so you can calculate the this actual flow for the fifth year also. Okay, so from the this particular inflation rate also. Okay, then another one, calculation under the inflation. Okay, so how you have required to calculate the equivalence calculation under the inflation. Okay, so here is the number, for first point is the market and the inflation free interest rate. Okay, another one is the constant dollar analysis. Okay, then the actual dollar analysis, then mixed dollar analysis. Then we can see here, or we can turn one by one, what is the market and inflation free interest rate, also constant dollar analysis. Okay, then first one is the equivalence calculation under the inflation. Okay, market and inflation free interest rate. Okay, so how the interest effect also. Okay, so the factor in changes in earning power of the money. Okay, so you can say that, or we have also been seen at the previously. Okay, what is the interest rate? So interest means the, you can say that this is the wage. Okay, in Marathi you can also say that this is the wage. So they can say that factor changes in earning of the power of the money. Okay, earning of the power of the money. So you can say that for whatever the percentage you can get the interest also. Okay, so when the period is increased, interest is also be the increase. Okay, so this is the interest effect also. So we can say that the factor in changes in earning power of the money. Okay, then another one is the inflation. Okay, so what is the inflation? As per we have to see whatever the losing power of the money also, or they can say that the factor in the changes in purchasing power of the money also. Okay, so this is the inflation. Inflation means what? That is the, we can say in Marathi, that is mahagai. Okay, so inflation in all thing, basic thing. Okay, that is the tuition fees also, whatever you are TV recharge also, mobile recharge also. Okay, so these are the general things. Okay, these are the general things. You can say that the factor changes in purchasing power of the money also. Okay, Then another one is the market and inflation free interest rate. Okay, so market interest rate, that is I. Okay, market interest rate, that is I. So the first one is the nominal interest rate. Okay, so take into account the combined effect of the earning value, the capital earning power, and the any anticipated inflation and deflation purchasing power also. Okay, so you can say the nominal interest rate means the whatever the effect na, the effect of the power of the money. Okay, whatever the inflation or deflation. Okay, so in inflation you can say that you have required the sending or losing the power of the money, but in deflation here is the purchasing power, or the purchasing power is less, so you can say that this is the deflation, or the this is the combined effect, you can say that this is the nominal interest rate also. Okay, get it now? So all the interest rate stated by the financial institutions or the loans and the saving account are the market interest rate also. Okay, so you can say that your fees also increase. Okay, so effect as per the period. Okay, as per the period, so you can say that nominal interest effect. Then another one is the inflation free interest rate. Okay, so what is inflation free effect? So they can say that, okay, what the estimate of the true earning power of the money, okay, when the effect of the inflation has been removed. Okay, so they can say that we have required the only the actual power. Okay, actual power of the money. Okay, how? So we have required the remote that effect, that are inflation effect. So you can say that this mahagai. Okay, you can remove the this particular factor, that is the inflation, and you can calculate. Okay, this is the truly earning power of the money also. Okay, so this is the inflation interest rate also. Then another one, another what, real interest rate. Okay, so what is real interest rate? So can be compute from the uh, can be compute from the what market. Okay, from the market interest rate and the inflation rate. Okay, in absence inflation. Okay, in absence of the inflation. Okay, the market interest rate is the same as the inflation free interest rate also. So you can say that this is the real interest rate also. Okay, so can be computed from the market whatever the interest rate and the inflation rate also. Okay, then here is the calculation. Okay, equivalence calculation, or how we can calculate the equivalence calculation. Okay, so for case 1, okay, all the cash flow elements are the estimated in the constant dollar also. Okay, so this is your case first. Okay, so what is your case first? That is the cash flow element is estimate constant dollar also. Another one is the, what is the case 2? That is the cash flow element is estimated in actual dollar. Okay, here is constant, another one here is the actual. Okay, and the case 3, okay, in case 3 the sum of the cash flow element are estimated in the constant dollar and others are in the actual dollar also. Okay, so this is the actual dollar, some are the actual, some are the constant. Okay, so you can say that this is the cash flow element. Okay, in case first here is only the constant, in case second here is only the actual. Okay, and in the case 3 you can say that the sum of the actual cash flow elements are some cash flow element estimated constant dollar and others are actual dollars also. Okay, so you can say that here is the equivalence calculation. Okay, then so this what is this, the constant dollar analysis. Okay, another one is the constant dollar analysis. Okay, so since all the cash flow elements are already in constant dollar also. Okay, so you have required to calculate the constant dollar analysis. Okay, so what they say, since the cash flow of the element are already in constant dollar. Okay, so this is the, you can say that a dash of the, so this is the constant na, this is the constant. So Pn, this is your primary value, okay? Then a plus I dash raised to n, okay? So absence of the inflammatory effect, we use the I, okay? So absence of the inflammatory effect. What is I? So absence of the inflammatory effect, okay? To account for only the earning of the power of the money, okay? So find the present worth equivalence as the government do not pay the income tax. Constant dollar analysis is common in long period or the long term public projectors. Okay, get it? So this is the calculation of the actual dollar analysis. Okay, so this is the actual, or this is the, you can say that constant. Okay, constant. Okay, so this is the constant dollar analysis also. Okay, then another one is the actual dollar analysis. Okay, actual dollar analysis. So the deflation method of the two steps. Okay, so for the method first, okay, from the method first, you can say that the deflation methods of the two steps. So first one is the convert actual dollar to the constant dollar, okay, by deflecting with the general inflation rate up. Okay, so from the previous slide, okay, we have also seen how to convert the actual dollar to the constant dollar. Okay, so here is, they say that the first method is the converting the actual dollar into the constant dollar. Okay, then another one is the calculate the present worth of the constant dollar by the discounting I. Okay, so from the converting that particular constant dollar, we can calculate the present worth of the constant dollar. Okay, firstly, but we have required to converting the actual dollar into the constant dollar. Okay, then in method second, the adjust or discount method. Okay, what is your method second? Adjust or discount method also. So one step we use the market interest rate. So that is, you can say that the combine of the step one and step two. So that is the, this is the actual, okay, this is the actual dollar, okay, divided by inflation rate, okay, by the inflation, general inflation rate, 1 plus ith. Okay, so what is this is ith? So ith means this is inflammatory effect. Okay, absence of inflammatory effect. Okay, so a n divided by 1 plus I raised to n. So where is I is equal to I dash f dash plus I dash into f dash also. Okay, so this is your calculation method for the actual dollar analysis. Okay, for the actual dollar analysis. So this is the, you can say that the actual dollar analysis project, a project of the electronics company, is expected to generate the following cash flow in the actual dollar also. Okay, so this is the nth term, that is the fifth year. Okay, 5 year, that is 1 2 3 4 5, and the cash flow of the in actual dollar, that is firstly best value, that is $75,000, then 32,000, then 35,700, 32,800, 29,000. Then so this is the expected generate following cash. Okay, so this is the actual dollar analysis. Okay, this is the actual dollar. So they can give the only the example. Okay, so what are the equivalent of the 0 year dollar, that is the constant dollar in general inflation rate, that is the 5%. Okay, so the compare of the worth of the cash flow is constant dollar, that is the 10%. Okay, so this is you can calculate the total equivalence present, okay, by using this two particular formula. Okay, firstly, the constant dollar analysis, that is Pn is equal to n dash divided by 1 plus a dash raised to n. Also another formula is also Pn is equal to an divided by 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, so you can calculate the actual total equivalence present of the worth also. Okay, get it? So this is also be the simple. Then another one is the mixed dollar analysis. Okay, so what is mixed dollar analysis? So convert all the cash flow element into the same dollar unit. Okay, either constant or the actual also. Okay, so the first one is the converting the actual dollar. Okay, convert the actual dollar, so constant to the actual also. Okay, so this is the example of the mixed dollar or the cases. So here is the cases. So the first cases is the converted to the actual dollar, and another one is the converted into the constant dollar. Okay. So for the converting of the actual dollar, you can say that the use market interest rate I in calculating the equivalence value. Okay. And here is in constant dollar we have required the use of the inflation free interest rate I in calculating the equivalence value. Okay, here is only the interest rate I. Okay, and here is the free interest rate I. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, this is the difference for the calculating the actual dollars and the calculating the constant dollars value also. Okay, so this is the mixed dollar analysis. Okay, then another one is the present worth analysis. Okay, so how to calculate the present worth factor also. Okay, so the first one is the loan versus project cash flow. Okay, loan versus project cash flow, and another one is the initial project screening method, then present worth analysis, and the last one is the method to compare mutually exclusive alternatives. Okay, so this is the present worth analysis. Okay, so the first one, so this particular present worth analysis, we can say that there is the essential type of the question to address in equivalent in any business investment decision. Okay, so present worth analysis, so you can say that this is the analysis of the engineering decisions also, or the engineering economics also. So they can say that here is the number of the point, so you can take the decision about the business also. Okay, so the first one is the how long it will take to recover the initial investment. Okay, so this is the first decision. Okay, how long it will recover the initial investment. So any type of the business whenever it's established, that time the founder is also be calculated in mind now. So how long you can it will be recover the initial investment also. Okay, so this is the investment now. So what is the extent of the financial risk? So this is also be the one of the point, that is the financial risk also. So there is the investment. Okay, investment. So if a new competitor enters, so how would that affect the future investment decision also? So these are the primary factor or primary question. So whatever address in any business, whatever the business founder also. Okay, so the financial risk is the mostly critical element to the consider. Okay, of course, whatever we have required to starting any business, so we have taken or we have required to take the financial risk at the initial, or we can say that this is the more critical. Okay, so another one is the procedure of the screening the project to ensure the right investment is made to the need to be establishment. So this is the presentation. You can also say that presentation means whatever any analysis, or you can say that business analyst. Okay, business analyst. So he explained the project and say that how there is the number of the how many number of the or how many amount of the required to the initial investment also. Okay, then the another one is the a key aspect of the process is the financial equivalence of the investment proposal also. Okay, so this is the financial evaluation. Okay, from the final stage to the last stage also. So here is the number of the stage. Okay, so another one is the treatment of the measure of the investment worth is also be divided into the payback period. Okay, so project screening tools also, then the present worth analysis also, by using the presentation also, by using the number of questions also, by using the financial list also. So there is the number of the term of the number of the factors also for the investment of the initial investment. Okay, so this is the another one. Then the first factor, that is the loan versus project clash flow. Okay, so whatever here is the that much amount of money is not available. That time they have required to taken the loan also. So they can say that here is the difference of the loan versus whatever the project flow also. Okay, and another point also, initial project screening method, then another present with analysis also, or the compare the mutually exclusive alternatives also. Okay, so first one is the loan versus project cash flow. Okay, so this is the important term, that is a loan. Okay, so at the investment made is the fixed asset, it is similar to the investment by the bank also. So we can say that it lends the money. Okay, so that much amount is not be available at the time of the investment or the primary investment. So you can require the taken the money from the bank. Okay, so you can say that it's loan. So the essential characteristics of the both transaction is that is the funds are the committed today in the expectation of the their earning return in the future. Okay, so there are the some expectations also now, because they invest the money, okay, from this particular project also. So in case of the bank loan, okay, the future returns takes the from the interest plus repayment of the principal. So you can say that whenever you can take the loan, that time you have required the return that loan now from some time. Okay, from the some time or the repayment for the interest rate also. Okay, from the interest rate also. So this is the return is known as the cash flow also. Okay, cash flow also. So in the case of the fixed asset, the future return takes the form of the cash generated by the productive uses of the asset also. So they can say that the fixed installment. Okay, here is the fixed installment. So you can buy using the interest rate also. Okay, so the representation of the future earning along with the capital expenditure with the annual expenses, wages, new material, maintenance costs. So whatever the project cash flow also. Okay. Another one is the loan versus project cash flow. Okay. So here is the loan bank loan versus investment project. Okay. So we have required the taken the loan from the bank. Okay. Loan from the bank and then the repayment. Okay. Then the repayment or the uh, return of the money to the bank also. Okay, then the investment. Okay, whenever the company invest on any project, okay, that time the project also can be returned to the us. Okay, so this is the investment project also. So this is, you can say that investment project. Okay, because any company is invested into your project also. Okay, so this is the bank loan. In bank loan uh, taken by the customer. Okay, and they require the repayment to the bank also, and the investment process it also be the same process, that is company invest the amount in that particular project, and the project you can access the some profit from the this particular project Also, okay, so this is the loan versus project cash flow. Okay, another one is the initial project screening method. Okay, so what is in this? So you can say that initial project screening method. Okay, so one of the primary concern of the most business people is the whether or the initial project means the presentation. Okay, whatever the presentation, so you can say that any other business analyst, so he whatever the explain his project and say that here is the that much amount is required to invest or the initial invest of that project also. Okay, so the money investment of the project can be recovered. So you can say that this is the actual presentation. Okay, this is the actual presentation. So they can say that when and whether and how many uh, amount is required to invested and that project and when we can recover from this project also, because the business analyst known the actual project. Okay, so he get the actual presentation to the um, founder also. Okay, then the payback method screen project is basis of how long take the net receipt will investment outlay. Okay, so this is the theoretical part also. Okay, playback period is calculated by the adding the expected cash flow for each year until the sum is equal to or the greater than the zero. Okay, so this is the cash flow payback method or payback points also. Okay, then the cumulative cash flow exceeds zero. The project has begun to generate the profit also. Okay, so this is the profitable method. You can calculate the initial project screening method also. So anyone can explain this project also who is the business analyst. Okay, and say that how many amount is required to invest in that particular project and how what is the agenda of our project to getting the actual output from that project. Okay, how so they say that how when we recover the money also. Okay, so this is the screening method. Okay, so this is the initial screening method. Then another one is that the calculation can be take of the two form. Okay, so this is the calculation. We can calculate the initial project, whatever the recovery of the project also. Okay, so the time value. So this is the first method, that is the conventional payback period. Then another one is the discounted payback period also. Okay, so then we can say that the payback period calculation does not consider the time value of the money, so it is termed as the conventional payback period also. Okay, so then another one is the payback calculation consider the time value of the money, so this is termed as the discounted payback period. Okay, so this is you can say that the calculation. The first one is the calculation factor is the time value. Okay, time value. So does not consider the time value. Okay, does not consider the time value. It is called as the conventional payback period. But the you can say that the consider. Okay, the playback period consider the time value of the money. Okay, this is called a discounted payback period. Okay, this is called a discounted payback period. So this is the main difference. So the first one we can say that here is the not consider the time value of the money, and second one is the consider the time value of the money. So you can say that discounted playback period also. Then another one is the conventional payback period. For example, so this is the conventional. So conventional means you can say that does not consider the time value of the money also. Does not consider the time value of the money. So this is the cash flow. Okay, this is the cash flow. So conventional means that does not consider the time value of the money. So the company invests the 1.8 millions in the project. The cash flow series as the following table. So this is the cash flow. So this is the fourth page of the example also. Okay, so this is the example. Then the another one the conventional payback period. Okay, so the first one is the conventional payback period example. Okay, so this is the example. Conventional so does not affect the time value of the money also. So this is the conventional playback period. Okay, so this is the actual graph. Okay, this is the actual graph, so you can draw it. So the come cash flow, whatever the minus 2m, then 0, then 2m, then 4m. So this is the million, then this is the 1 2 3 4. So that is the years also. Okay, that are the years also. So you can draw the actual graph. Okay, you can draw the actual graph whenever first year is completed, whatever second year is completed. Okay, then third year is completed. So this is the 2.73 years payback of the period also. Okay, so this is the example. Then another one is the discounted payback period, means the effect of the time value of the money. Okay, we have required to consider the time value of the money. So this is the company invests the 1.8 millions in the project. The cash flow series is shown in the table. So this is the assuming the firm cost of the fund to be 15%. Compute the discounted payback period also. Okay, so this is the periods and this is the cash flow also. Okay, by using the discounting payback period only you can remember in this particular discounted you have consider the time value of the money. Okay, consider the time value of the money also. So this is the discounted payback period example. Okay, so you can see here what is the period cash flow, then the cost of the fund return, whatever the cumulative cash flow. So here is the consideration of the time value of the money also, time value of the money also. So this is the period and cash flow, whatever the cost of the fund, then cumulative cash flow also. Okay, then another one is the present worth analysis. Okay, present worth analysis. So these are the number of the factor that are the net present worth criteria, guidelines for the selecting of MARR, then meaning of the net present worth, then capitalizes the equalize method also. So these are the four. So we see the from the uh, uh, one by one. Okay, so what is the net present worth criteria? What are the guidelines for the selecting of the MARR? Then meaning of the net present worth and capitalize the equivalence methods. Okay, so these are the business people use another method to improve the project evaluation, which take into the account at the time value of the money. Is called as the discounted cash flow of the technique also. So this is the time value of the money now. Time value of the money. So you can say that this is the discounted. Okay. Here is the consideration of the time value of the money. So you can say that this is the discounted cash flow technique. Okay. So one of the DCF, so discounted counted flash, so you can say that this is the DCF. Okay, is the net present worth, that is the NPW, that is NPV. Okay, so under the PV, that is the PW criterion. Okay, the present worth of the all cash flow inflow associated with the investment of the project is the compared with the present worth of the all cash outflow associated with the project also. Okay, so this is the difference between the two cash flow, that are the net present worth also determine the whether the project is acceptable to the investment also. Okay, then the another one is the two or more projects are the under the consideration, then the net present worth analysis further allow us to select the best project by comparing their NPW. So this is the also one of the factor. You can say that this is the NPW. Okay, this is the NPW. So you can say that the DCF is also be the NPW. Okay, so this is the net present worth factor. Okay, so this is the under the criterion. So you can say that cash flow is compared with the time value of the money, whatever the time value of the money. So you can say that this is the discounted cash flow technique also. Okay, so this is the NPW. Okay, then NPW criterion. So whatever the evaluating the single project also. Okay, so this is the step one to determine the interest rate firm wishes to earn on the investment, that are the MRR, that is the minimum attractive or the acceptable rate of the return also. Okay, so this is the evaluation of the single rate. So for the step first, we are required to calculate the MRR. Okay, so what is MRR? That is the minimal attractive acceptable rate of the returns. Okay, then another one is the estimate cash inflow for the each period of service life, then the estimate cash on outflow for each of the period of the service. So these are the inflow outflow. Okay, then the estimate the service life of the project, then the inflow of cash inflow also, cash outflow also. Okay, then the MRR also. So these are the four steps. Firstly, we have required the calculate MRR, then we have required to estimate the service life of the project, then we have required the inflow for each project, then outflow period over a service life also. Okay, then another one is the determine the net cash flow for each period, it inflow minimum or may minus to the outflow. This is the determine the net means the minus or firstly inflow minus outflow also. So what are the actual net flow? Okay, so this is the, these are the five steps we can calculate the or evaluate the single project also. Okay, so another one is the net present worth criterion. Okay, so this is the you can say that step second. Okay, from the net you can calculate the find out the present worth, that is the P for each period. So this is the P, so this is summation of n is equal to 0, that is the initial condition up to n. Okay, EIN, then divided by 1 plus I raised to n. So for using this particular factor, okay, present worth factor, so of each period. So these are what is an, so you can say that net cash flow at the end of the period n, then lifetime, then n year. Okay, then MRR, that is the interest rate. Okay, then step second you can say that decided P greater than 0 is acceptable, P is equal to 0 is indifferent, then P less than 0, that is the rejected. Okay, so this is the, you can calculate the present worth analysis also, or whatever the present worth with the help of the net cash flow of the lifetime, then end period. Okay, so this is the, then another one. So this is the example that Tiger Machine Tools Company consider the acquisition of the new metal cutting machine. So this is the required initial investment of the $75,000 and the projected cash benefit over the three period of the life as follows. So this is the end of the year. So from this particular cash flow, you can calculate the whatever the value of the P. Okay, whatever the value of the P. So this is the end of year 0, 1, 2, 3. Then the cash flow, that is $75,000, 27,340, $55,760 also. So firstly you have required, or they give you the MRR. Okay, what is MRR? That is the 15%. Okay, then you can put this value into the equation. Okay, so P is equal to 15% minus 75,000. Well, this is the investment. I think this is the investment. Then these are the flow, 24,400. Then P, this is the factor. Okay, then you can say that 27,360. Then this is factor. So you can calculate the value of the P, that is present worth analysis, $3,553 also. So we can say that this is the acceptable analysis also. So you can put in this value into the this equation. Okay, so you can calculate. So here the another way we took the analysis with the cash flow diagram. Okay, so from the cash flow diagram, so this is the investment, or this is the, you can at the first year. So this is the inflow. Okay, this is the inflow. So this is the 75,000, and this is the outflow, that is 24,400, 27,314, 55,716. Okay, so this is the cash flow. You can say that this is the non-zero, so you can say that this is the acceptable. Okay, so this is the acceptable. So inflow and outflow. Okay, get it? So this is the simple example. Okay, then we move toward the guidelines for the selecting MRR. Okay, so which are the guidelines for the selecting MRR also. Okay, so return is what you get back in relation to the amount you investment. Okay, so this is the some guidelines. Whatever what you get back whenever you have to invest into the project also. Okay, then the rate of the returns in the function of the three component. So these are the three component: risk free real return, inflation factor, risk premises. Okay, so these are the um, three factors of rate of the return functions also. Okay, then another one is the guidelines for the selecting minimum attractive rate of the return also. Okay, so these are the some selecting guidelines also. Okay, so you can say that these are the three factor: risk free real return, inflation, risk premium. Okay, so this is the uh, guidelines for the selecting MRR. Okay, so real return, whatever the inflation means the your mahagai. Okay, so very safe, very risky. Amazon.com and treasury bills. Okay, risk premium. So why it is very risky? Because here is the risk premium the 20%, and the total expected return is 26. But here is the risk premium 0%, inflation is 4%, and real return is the 2%. So the expected return is 6%. So here is the investment is also be the risky. Okay. So this is the comparison between the bills of the two companies, that is US Tertiary Bills and Amazon.com. Okay, so we can say that US Tertiary Bill is the very safety. Okay, and the Amazon.com is the very risky. Okay, so this is the example of the selecting of MRR. So whatever you have required the more risk, so you can select the Amazon.com. Okay, but whenever you cannot selecting the risk, then you can say that the US tertiary is the very safe for us. Okay, then the another one is the meaning of the net present worth. Okay, so what is the meaning of the net present worth also? Okay, so in whatever the net in present of the worth analysis. Okay, so we have required the calculating the MRR. Okay, we assume that all the funds in the firm tertiary can be placed in investment that yields a return to the MRR. So MRR means how many, whatever the return to us. Okay, so this fund is investment pool also. Okay, so investment, whatever the return to us. So alternatives, if no funds are available for the investment, so we assume that firms can be borrow them the MRR from the capital market. Okay, so which are the capital markets? So investment of pool concept on borrowed about the fund concept also. Okay, so this is the, you can say that maximum attractive rate of the return. Okay, MRR means maximum attractive rate of the return also. Okay, so this is the whatever the meaning of the net present worth also. So you can be investment or return is equal to the maximum attractive rate of the return also. So it is called as the MARR. Okay, so this is fund is also be the investment pool also. Okay, then another one is the the investment pool concept. Okay, so what is investment pool concept? So it is equal to the firm tertiary. Okay, so what is firm tertiary? So what they say, it is where all the fund transaction are the administered and the manager. Okay, so fund may withdraw funds from the investment pool for the other investment purpose also. So they can say that all the fund transaction are the administered and the managed. So they can say that this is the investment pool concept. Okay, so in this particular concept, investment pool is equal to the firm treasury. So the firm may withdraw the funds from this investment pool for the out investment purpose also. So this is the fund is left in the pool. The fund is earned interest at the MARR. So this is the meaning of the net present rate also. Okay, then another means what? The investment pool concept example. So this is the example of the MN minimum of the net present worth. So this is the example. The company invest the 1.8 million in the project. The cash flow series as the following shown in table. So this is the cash flow. So this is the example. So we can say that the company invest 1.8 million in the project and the cash flow. So this is the only the conceptual example. Okay, conceptual example. So the this particular investment concept, if the firm did not invest the project and instead the left whatever the 18 lakh dollar in the investment pool for the 7 year. The fund would grow as that is 18 lakhs. So this is the present worth factor, 15% the rate, and the 7 years. So they whatever the calculation, they getting the 4,78,000 36. Okay, if the company decided to invest in the project with the specified cash flow, so this is the actual example. So you can get the net present worth to calculating the equation also. Okay, so if the company is decided to invest in the project with the specified cash flow. Okay, since the fund is returned investment pool earn interest at the rate of the 15%, it will be helpful to see how much the firm will be benefit from the investment. Okay, so we have required to calculate how this particular firm is. We can say that helpful to us. Okay, so how many profit is gained from this particular project also. Okay, so this is the calculation of the net present worth. Okay,